Hello and welcome to the In a Nutshell podcast with myself, Andrew Miles Davis, and my co-host Chris Branch. The 10-minute daily podcast where we take out all of the techie talk around generative AI and focus on what the everyday person, marketer, and content creator wants to hear. Now, we've only got 10 minutes, so we can only focus on one particular subject per episode. And today we're going to talk about three areas really, that is really big interest for both of us, something that we're very passionate about. And that's generative AI, sport or football in particular, and advertising. And the reason why we're talking about this is because recently the England captain, who's doing wonders in Germany, Harry Kane, he teamed up with Google Bard, so Google, one of Google's many AI platforms, and also LADbible, and they're putting together an advertising campaign really to kind of get the name Google Bard out there. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it. It's one of the things that we do on our podcast. We like to talk about marketing examples because we like to talk about practical things that companies are doing in the world of generative AI. And this is one of them. So, Chris, what's your initial thoughts on this?
It's got all the hallmarks of a good campaign. You know, it's fun. It's using AI in a fun, creative way because it's generating celebration suggestions, I think.
Yeah.
So that's like, a natural fit. That's where marketing really comes in. If it's an obvious forced partnership where they've just gone, who's the biggest influencer that we could potentially, purchase? I'll tell you, one of these examples recently was, did you see the Snoop Dogg smokeless fire thing?
Yeah.
That's actually been a bit of a bust. It hasn't really done much in terms of sales.
A lot of awareness, no sales.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you mean. Is like it seemed like an okay fit, but it was more in Snoop's branding and less to do with the company he was promoting. Whereas this Harry Kane one is clearly promoting Google Bard, as you mentioned, through LADbible as the distributor. So again, it feels like biggest footballer, Harry Kane, England captain, biggest publication, LADbible, Google, one of the biggest companies. So it could be hard to make those things fit, but it seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good partnership,
Pretty good.
The partnership essentially was launched. What they're doing is a series of social media videos showing Harry Kane experimenting with the technology. And it's been translated into both languages to complement both audiences. So obviously German.
Showing off the tech English as well, which is, again, useful. And another marketing trick.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously what's good about this is that it shows very playful scenarios to help with everyday situations he might have to deal with, including ideas, as you mentioned, for goal celebrations. Because Harry Kane, it's not like some of these footballers that's going to dance, or even like, say, with Peter Crouch back in the day when he used to do the robot. Harry Kane's got his own very boring celebration. So it's kind of like giving him ideas about that. Also explaining the offside rule rhyme to young children. That's another one. He knows the offside rule, but it's kind of explaining it. So really the point is kind of obviously showcasing Google Bard, but with using Harry Kane and kind of playing into the brand of Harry Kane as well.
Yeah, and we talked a bit about this last year, didn't we? Because Facebook obviously reached out to influencers in order to have like models that you could talk to, and that was a natural fit as well, where you could talk to like a Mr. Beast YouTube version of like a chatbot basically. And that was again a good use case of the technology and making it match to an influencer and then having a fan influencer experience. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I could see a lot more of this in the future, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I think what Bard done is quite smart, was that they're trying to position it to football fans. They kind of said, like, from a positioning point of view, let's aim it at football fans and let's obviously try and get Harry Kane known in England, very known obviously now. Well, he was known before in Germany, but kind of people are really seeing the talent of him. And this is hard for me to say as an Arsenal fan. But yeah, it's kind of showcasing that. So I think the positioning, and I feel that as an example for AI platforms, I think this is going to be key. And that is how you position your platform for a particular group. Because what you've got, most of these platforms, let's say, for example, the chatbots like ChatGPT, Bard, like Claude 2, like all of those, they all generally do the same thing. There might be certain things that's tweaked here and there, but they all kind of do the same thing for 99% of the people. So then it's a case of saying, well, how can we differentiate ourselves? And I think if you can kind of position yourself in a big market, that's going to be one way to kind of get some market share. And I think what they've done here is a pretty, from a like, execution point of view, is a pretty good execution to start with. But as you said, I think you're going to see a lot more of this, like using sports people or musicians, etc.
And these will just be, test the initial waters that this is a successful marketing strategy. And essentially, just like influencer marketing grew in all of like the last decade, this will be the new form. It will be tech companies reaching out to influencers in order to promote AI products. Yeah. And this will become more and more influential to everyone. Whether or not you are involved in AI right now, you in just following racing or tennis or any of these sports might be promoted AI products because of influencers like Djokovic or Harry Kane or Serena Williams or whoever it is, like they will just reach out to influencers in this way.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see a lot of influencers in 2024 promoting AI platforms. I think that's going to be the big thing, because usually in the world of influencers generally, you see waves. So it's like, a lot of them are promoting this fashion brand, or a lot of them are now promoting this particular. Manscaped was a big one. Like all of a sudden, everyone was doing Manscaped, and then VPNs was kind of like really, really popular. But what you're going to see, I feel, this year, you're going to have a few AI platforms that's going to be really kind of targeting influencers. And I think you're going to see a lot of influencers be talking about whatever AI, generative AI platform is paying them.
Here's a question for you. When do you think we'll see the one up and we'll see media partnerships with massive broadcasting companies? So, for example, like ESPN bought into UFC. But imagine that when we talked about that episode when we were doing golf clips and the AI was generating golf clips. Imagine when like an ESPN is partnered with a Google Bard to produce these UFC highlights or something like that. Like that would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that's going to be. I think that'll be this year. I think it's just a matter of when.
So, yeah, could be.
Yeah, I think it'll be this year. And what you'll see is like with the Harry Kane, it's going to be using. Let's see, but the Harry Kane is pretty. It's very like basic. Hey, I'm Harry Kane. I'm using this. Look what you can do. But I think what you're going to see is more of the program, the creative is going to be created with this particular AI platform. And I think it's going to be more of a seamless integration partnership rather than here's the talent. I'm talking about this particular product to the end user. I think it's going to be more, the whole thing's going to be created with that. And hopefully people will say, wow, that's amazing. How do you do this? And then it's like, this is the platform to do it. I can see that happening quite a bit this year.
Yeah, I wonder how, because when you said about them translating it into German, that makes total sense, because one of the biggest things that Bard has over ChatGPT and other platforms is its ability to translate. Yeah. So it's like, how do you showcase the features of the tool in a natural way that feels good market fit, rather than it just being like, oh, look at what we can do and, showing off and it falls flat. That's the really tough thing, is to make it seem legit and useful and interesting, rather than just a showcase of what they knew everyone could already do.
Exactly. So in a nutshell, we believe that we're going to see a lot more collaborations when it comes to AI platforms and influencers. Now, when I say influencers, all the way celebrities, all the way down to like the nano influencers with a small following, but people kind of buy into it. This year, you're going to see a lot. And what we're going to do when it comes to these marketing examples, I can see us doing a lot more of these moving forward, because I just think there's going to be a lot more collaborations. What I'm looking forward to, though, are the results. That's where it's really key.
Yeah, maybe we could do an end of the year one to see the most successful influencer AI collaboration, and then have like some sort of vote on which one we thought was the best.
Cool.
That sounds fun.
Let's do it.